What up, guys? Welcome back. Justin here, back with another video. Today's all about the power concept. Let's go. All right, guys, before we get to the actual video, if you're brand new to the American Football Academy, I've got a pretty sweet course for you to take if you're an international offensive coordinator. Covers everything you could possibly want to know or need to know to become a really, really effective offensive coordinator and put up a ton of points. Check that link out in the description. Now let's get to the video. All right, guys, here we go. We're going to get into power. So we're talking about it from 11 personnel and 10 personnel as well. But first, we're starting with 11. And before we get to that, we got to talk about rules, right? If you watch the Inside Zone video, if you haven't watched it, go watch that one. If you watch the Inside Zone video, you know that I'm very, very a rule-based guy. I want to make sure that everything is logical. We have all those rules set up so we can just follow them. Makes playing very simple. So let's take a look at this, all right? Play side tackle, we're going to run this here to the left, to the fullback side. So we're going to run this to the left. Play side tackle is going to be right here. He's going to be responsible for B gap. Play side guard, he's got A gap, right? He's going in his backside gaps. Right here we got B, this is going to be A. Now we got minus, oh, that's supposed to be an A, and minus B. I don't know why I drew an M there. We got center is minus A to minus B. He's going to be responsible for both of these. Backside guard, we're going to pull the point. Now, who are we defining as the point? I said it's going to be the first play side inside linebacker, okay? Play side inside linebacker, that's going to be right here. So we're pulling the point. Backside tackle is going to be minus B to minus C. Those are going to be his areas, and then we're going to kick out with our fullback C gap, okay? So let's see how that actually plays out when we apply that to a real situation. Now, we're in a weird look here with this 4I, okay? Now, if you had, we want to get a double team on the play side. If possible, we want that, right? So if this guy were a 3-tech, it'd be really easy to get a nice double team. But right now, his alignment is making him kind of annoying. So we're just going to say we're only going to be able to down block him, and we'll just have to react based on that one. Right now, the center doesn't have any threats. If this guy walks down, he's got to get there. Very similar to if it will be a 3-tech on the backside, and then we have this down block on the nose. But right now, we don't have any threat here, so we can just say, hey, let's get a double team here. Let's get right here. All right, we're going to pull to point. Now, you're going to take whatever's the best path here. You might have to go inside this DN. You might go outside the DN. And also, this could be an open pull. It could be a skip pull, whatever you want to teach your guys. Generally, I've heard a skip pull gets you over 1 to 2 gaps. I saw a dude from Alabama skip pull 4 gaps the other day, and keeping his shoulders square was the craziest thing I've ever seen. But you can teach whatever you'd like in that situation. And then we tell our fullback he's kicking out C-gap defender, or he's going to be responsible for C-gap. Again, I mean, we can kick out. I mean, in this case, it would be really easy for us to take inside leverage. We can take inside leverage, kick him out. But we'll look at another example in a minute here where we might have to actually down block this guy and the puller has to go around. So you just have to have a call if you want to communicate guard to puller of, hey, are we down blocking and he's going around? Or is it going to be I kick out and then everything stays normal and we can climb up? All right. Then we look at the backside tackle here. Right now, he doesn't have any threats in here, so he can just very easily take this guy. So let's look at the full thing here. Okay. We got this double team here. If the mic comes down, center is going to back block immediately. We still down block on the nose. We pull to point, whatever path we can take, and then we kick out this jack, and off we go following the puller. He can cut inside, he can cut outside. He's just going to follow that puller, and there we go. Now, what do we do with receivers? We always block these safeties. The only time I'm ever going to block a corner is if we're running outside to that corner, and then even then, I'd like to even hit this guy and then work up to the safety, because the safeties are the main tacklers. And if you're a slot receiver, just go block the linebacker inside of you, right? So that's a pretty basic version of power, just the base rules, okay? Now, let's take a look at this again. Now, notice I changed the rules, right? See the rules here on the left? Boom, things are changing, okay? Why are things changing? Well, now, if we're going to run to a 5-tech, rather than in this case, we ran to a 4-tech, right? Here to the left, we got a 4I. Now we're going to go with now we're running to a 5-tech, okay? So how can we handle this? This is just one version. It's just a variation. I wanted to give you this so you understand how you can tweak this. Now, we use both of these versions. I think that they're both effective, and I'll show you both of them right here. So the new rules, we're going to be play side tackle. We're going to be manned up. So we can try and kick this guy out. If he crosses our face, we're taking him wherever he wants to go. We're just driving, right? Backside tackle, we're also manned up. All right, if the will jumps down, we're gonna be taking that with the center. But right now we can just double team here. Okay, up to that, we're right here, going here and kicking out. So this is really the same thing. Okay, the only difference is if you think about the responsibility of the tackle. If this guy cheats in, it looks exactly like what we did before. But in the last one, he was responsible for a gap. Right now, he's responsible for man. So we're kind of combining gap principles with man principles when we do something like this. This could also be known as a pin and pull concept. Okay, it's kind of like that in a way. All right, but essentially, this is just another version of power. Now, let's say we decide that we don't want to do that, right? We want to stick with regular power rules, so let's scrap all this. Let's just go with the traditional power. We're going to run it like normal. So how is this going to work? Okay, so we're going to get down block here. We're going to get this down block back to the opposite backer away from. We're going to skip the point man. Okay, we don't ever want to work up to the point man. We want to go back to the backside backer. We're pulling for point here. This is where he's going to probably end up down blocking this guy, and the puller might have to go around. It's going to really depend on how we handle this here. But either way, puller's working there. We can have our center immediately. He doesn't even have to touch this nose. He can just go straight flat. And we get a nice little step in hinge technique with this guy. So we handle both the jack and the end, and then everybody's picked up. The only thing, we got to take this Sam with the Y. So we want him to be inside leverage, right? Again, receivers go to safeties, all that fun stuff. You could also have this guy read for a read that backside linebacker here for an RPO. You could also have him, we could read the play side linebacker. You could read either one of these. RPOs are a ton of different ways that you can run them. One thing that to keep in mind, that if we're going to completely, if we're going to run this version, right, he's going to be completely locked up and he's unblocked, completely unblocked. It's going to be difficult for your quarterback to, you don't want him reading over here, right? You don't want his eyes getting in this direction. Think about that like old school Madden vision cone. You don't want his eyes over here if this guy's coming right off the edge to murder him. Okay, if you're going to do that, if you're going to leave this jack unblocked, make sure the read is going to be on this side for the RPO. So that way he crashes, boom, he pulls, now we fire it, easy completion, right? So that's going to be power from 11 personnel versus a 3-man front. Now let's get into 4-man front stuff. All right, and we're going 10 personnel. Okay, 10 personnel. So how's this working? So a couple different ways we can do this. Now we're back to the traditional rules of power, right? Let's run to the left. Okay, back to the traditional rules of power. So let's see how this is going to work. Okay, we're going to get double team on the backside, play side to backside linebacker. He takes 3 tech. He's going to step in, hit that hinge technique. We're pulling to point. We're not taking the defensive end. We're pulling to point. Now, what do? How do we handle the defensive end? Well, we can read him, right? We can read him. So we'll go through two different major ways that you can run. There's actually 3. You could have this be a handoff, and then he just follows along. If the defensive end crashes, quarterback pulls and runs outside. The other thing is that you could have the quarterback shuffle over. Let me try to get rid of this stuff so make it a little bit cleaner. The other thing that you can do is have the quarterback shuffle over. Okay, shuffle. He's running a little speed option. If the defensive end crashes, we pitch it. Boom, easy. And now we're up here blocking outside leverage, because this is going to be outside run to you, right? We want to block outside run to you. If you're really, really good, you could just hit this guy, murder him, boom, and then go get the safety. We had a receiver. We did this a couple times last year. We were able to jack up the corner, throw him off, and then go block the actual tackler. And then here our H is looking for the will flying over. So we essentially have the point man taking him. If we keep it and we run inside, let's say this defensive end widens, the guard can go take this will and kick him out. All right, and then the quarterback is good to go. Everything's blocked. If we end up going outside, the guard's not going to be able to chase him down, but we have the H there who is able to, right? So that's one way that you can handle this with a little speed option here. Now, another thing that I've seen, a lot of very athletic quarterbacks, far more athletic than myself. This is definitely not me, but you can just have a shuffle here. All right, we got the double team to the backside backer. We're back blocking here. We hit this little hinge. You don't really need to hinge in this situation. You just essentially step in with your, take some type of inside step, get your butt in the hole, drive him out. As long as he goes upfield, that's a win for the offense. We pull to point man. That's going to be the mic. And we're going to take these guys right here. I actually like, this is a bad drawing. Let me fix that real quick. I like doing this where we block him in. We put our butt outside and we kick him inside, right? And we're going to read this defensive end If he ends up widening, then quarterback keeps it and runs. If he stays here, we hand off. Maybe he bows out a little bit, and now we're off for the races right there, okay? And then again, you can do the same thing with this guy, chip this guy and go get the safety. That would be the ideal version that we're looking for. And what do we do with the backside here? You can do any RPO you want. If you don't do any RPO, you just have these guys go and block the same basic rules. If you're a slot receiver, go block the nearest inside backer. If you're a receiver, go block the safety. Very easy. All right, now we're going to go through another version of this 10 personnel with this lock, okay, with this lock here. So what I mean by this is the same thing that we talked about with the tackle staying man on. So we're going to be man on, man on. Then we get a double team here to the backside backer. We pull to point. All right, we handle this guy. We handle this guy. You could very well just do this. Okay, very simple. This is kind of a pin and pull. Again, it's a mixture between man and gap scheme. Okay, but it is quite effective. All right, so that's about it for power. All right, guys, so that's everything for the power concept. If you like this video, if you feel like you got some really good information from it, actually like it, physically like it, press the button, subscribe to the channel, share it, all that good stuff. Share with a coach who you think could benefit from this. Okay, and also, guys, check out that 90-day OC course. I think it's pretty fantastic. Feedback that we got is really good, really amazing. So if you're an offensive coordinator, if you're a player, forward this to an offensive coordinator. If you're an OC, check that out, and I'll see you guys in the next video.